So, Joan, we're going to kick off again. So today is a superstar client hot seat, and the reason you're on today is because we are celebrating your journey ahead and how much of an absolute superstar you have been. You've been pure badass in the backgrounds, and we're going to speak right back to where we started. I'll never forget that first call we've had going from there on, and just watching your journey throughout. And what I'd like to focus on more than anything is the process, because I know you've enjoyed this process throughout the whole thing. And even when we come to a point in which we're not probably feeling at our best, to the point in which you're feeling better than you've ever expected today, yeah, it can be hard for those to share those wins as such. So you might tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe a little bit about what you do, what you love to do, a little bit about your career, and yeah, we kick it from there. Sounds good.
All right, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Well, I'm a mum of one. I work I'm a general manager in an opticians, and I love hiking. I love the gym, love all that kind of thing. Outdoors person, and that's basically it, really.
There's more to it. There's definitely more.
More to it, yeah. What else would you like to know about me? What else, Mark? Give me a hint.
I tell you what, excuse me, we're going to open it up today. And I think by looking through your journey and maybe what you were struggling with before and how you etc., it might tell us a little bit more about you too. And from what I've learned about you has been pretty immense also. But yeah, so you're a busy mum pretty much.
Yeah.
You're someone that has always enjoyed that physical aspect, but had lost a certain aspect of your fulfillment for it or your attachment for it at one point, maybe.
Absolutely, 100%. About 2 years ago, I lost it kind of completely. I was doing what I loved, but I was hurting. How do you say? I was getting kind of injured, and kind of no one to kind of guide me where to go, what to do, what to eat, actually, more appropriately. And yeah, I knew it wasn't right. I was still doing it because I loved it, but I was like, I'm going to have to stop because I can't do it anymore. The injuries were getting worse, and then I just stopped completely. And I was working kind of, at that stage, I was working all over the country. I was up in Belfast, Cork, Dublin, Newbridge, and I just said, don't have time. I found every excuse not to do it. So, and with that, then I was eating on the road, wasn't eating proper, and yeah, was doing all. And then COVID hit, and the first lockdown, I just ate to survive, which wasn't a good idea. And then I just piled it all on. And then one day I was out walking, so I said I'd get back into it again. I was out walking and I got cramps in my legs, and I couldn't walk. I said, this is wrong, something wrong here. So I had to do something about that. You know, yeah, didn't know what to do because I needed to find someone. So that's where I was doing my research, but it took me a long time, to connect, kind of. I don't know why it took me so long. I was kind of embarrassed as well because my weight, I lost all confidence in myself. My weight piled on, and I couldn't do any. I couldn't even walk. So I said, what am I doing? Am I doing the right thing or not? It did take me a while. Even when I first connected with you, I had to come away and go, am I doing the right thing? So luckily enough, I did. So that was basically my journey to last January. You know.
Yeah. So basically, before we're looking back, as mentioned, you had that fulfillment initially from training, and you enjoyed all aspects of it. And you were at a point in which you didn't have these limitations. And talking about some of those limitations were those injuries started to come on. So maybe with your busy lifestyle, or maybe living with that same demand within your workload, the old ways were not quite serving you anymore, and you were coming up with these niggles. Or maybe training was an on and off sort of thing, and because of it, there was something missing, and again these niggles were happening. You found every excuse under the sun back then to not quite to lock in and do exactly what served you best, and we start to veer more towards that comfortable life, and we tell ourselves that we want that comfortable life, and this is where the excuses start to come out. But ultimately what happens is we are using them as a scapegoat. We're using them as a scapegoat to do the important things and moving forward, because life has been a whole lot different than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And you start to move in, even in terms of your nutrition, because you were around the country and you were regional, you were on the move, and you were in demand. You moved from convenience in terms of how we used to eat, so convenience over control instead. All of this led to somewhat of limitations in your ability going forward. So that limitation, sometimes that mindset was there going, you know what, I'm going to do this, I'm going to smash into it. But when you done it, you just hadn't got that same fuel, that same energy, that same drive, and that same foundation behind it. So it's I think a big one that jumped out for me there was it took time. I see this so often. It takes so long, and we just keep pushing it back. And then the weekends come into the weekdays, and the weeks go into the months, and the months go by. And then we go from, you know what, I'm going to start in January. I'm going to start before my holidays. I'm going to start before the wedding, whatever it might be. And because of this, we're always moving to that next thing. But the reality is there's no perfect time. There's always going to be weddings that we need to go to. There's always going to be fucking Christmases we can't show. There's always going to be that meal that we fucking love and we don't want to avoid. And then even when you jumped on, even when you said, right, let's do this, let's go for it. There was still doubt, there was still questions, and there was probably still doubt and questions against the program, the plan, even me. And more than anything, again, what it is we don't even realize this, but it is in our subconscious mind, we have these excuses going on all of the time, and the conscious things are the things we either take action in or we don't take action in. And because we were still questioning, is we're trying to find a means to pull back. And that's the most important aspect, is to realize is that is our human nature. Our human nature is to move towards the comforts. And what we don't realize, and what our distorted vision is, our comforts are not within sitting back, sticking Netflix on every night and eating a pack of popcorn. It's about the long-term thing. It's about what's going to give us comfort in the long term, to make the choices we want to make, to live the lives we want to live. And that's pretty much why we're jumping on here to celebrate that here today. Does that summarize maybe a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Like that, and the no confidence. If you remember, I don't know if you remember the first time I did a live workout.
Yeah.
You may have seen my wall for the whole 40 minutes it was, or 20 minutes, because I was over to the side. I wouldn't even look at you. I wouldn't even look at people that were on screen.
No way.
I was so out of my comfort zone. Yeah, but it's like, that's how much I've grown over the last couple of months. So yeah.
I do remember that. And confidence comes in two places. It comes within ourselves, and it comes to be ourselves outside of our own comforts, I suppose. And confidence is really going to allow us to be that authentic self. But I thought that was just your bad photography skills. You know what? This isn't my area. I'm not going to work on this one. But see, as we went along, and
And plus, actually, the first night I was sick, if you remember. Oh my God, I never forget it. I was faint and everything.
no way. Isn't it amazing looking back on it now? And that's what I want to do is want to jump forward. I want to project forward. So, how's life for you? How is life for you now? And what we'll do is we'll break it down. Just maybe give me a quick run through of those important things, because I know you've just been back from your holidays away. And I know lots of people are heading off on holidays, and for one, they're probably going at a point in which they're not too keen about it. They feel like they should be doing more, or they feel they shouldn't be doing whatever it is they do. And you know, within our program, it's all about living your best life and to enjoy and to do the things you want. Like, for instance, in June, we had literally get out, get a few drinks, get a few meals, catch ups, whatever, and post them into the group and ditch your scales. So, with that break you had away, how was that different now than, let's say, a break you might have had before, when you weren't right at your best?
Yeah. What was different is because and I suppose it was the weather as well, but I want to be outdoors all the time. So I wasn't conscious of keeping fit. I was just out. Morning walks, evening walks, swimming, just stuff like that. Whereas before, I may have been stuck inside or in my own little comfort zone, covered up, do you know? Whereas I wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, I've gotten to a level where I am confident in myself, in my body. So before I would have been covered up, but I wasn't covered up this time. And I wasn't eating rubbish so much, like not every day, do you know, that way.
Yeah.
I was conscious of it, but I didn't feel guilty.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I didn't overeat either. So yeah, a lot has changed, actually, when you think about it.
That's an
So
interesting one. The first one,
yeah.
you mentioned was you like to be outdoors more often, and that's not just to escape the kids. The young man, I love it. But yes, that's an important one. You touched up on as well, is you didn't need too much junk. When you wanted it, you had it. Well, we can call it junk, we can call it whatever we want, but you didn't feel like you needed to go all out and to crash it. And the majority of the people I speak with, and I know even from speaking with yourself at the start, is an all or nothing mindset is a big thing we veer towards, and it's all about perfectionism, and we feel that we need to be X instead of actually enjoying that process all along, and realize there's way more to it than just getting to the physique you're at right now.
Yeah, no, definitely, and it's enjoyable. You know what I mean? It's not hard work,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think that's a big thing as well. It's not like, oh, I have to do
Yeah.
it. No, it's not. It's not a chore. Like, it's
That's a big
really
one.
enjoyable. Yeah.
That is a big one, 100%. So look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you three key takeaways on our four pillars right now. So our core, our four core pillars. One being mindset. Maybe we have maybe two to three just points in which you have found were your key takeaways from going through the program.
I'm going through the program. In mindset, I'm more conscious of. I would have been an anxious person, right? So I would have ate my worries, say. So I'm not doing that now. I am relaxed when I'm eating. I'm enjoying eating. I'm not gulping it down and it's gone like I'm grand then, you know. I'm enjoying my food. I'm taking my time. Actually, that was my first takeaway when there was one time you had said take 15, 20 minutes for your breakfast, lunch, and I took that and I did it. and it worked for me. That was a big changer for me, because I would have ate and gone and felt like I've ate nothing, so I'd be eating again.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's one. The other one is because I incorporated the kind of yoga. Now, I don't do it all the time because I'm not great at it, but like I'll do it. It's great for stretch, but I do the meditation I always did it, but I've gotten more into it, and it just it relaxes me, it focuses me as well. So speaking of which, focus is when I'm going to the gym, I have my phone, I have my plan, and that's it, right? So if someone's coming at me, I'm saying, I'm sorry, I'm going. I can't talk. I have a plan, and that's it. So that works really well, because you're not going into the gym going, oh, what machine am I using, or what am I doing? You have it and you're focused.
Yeah.
And I find that really works for me.
Nice. I think we all get caught in that cycle. Even like, first of all, the problem is training or not training, and trying to get back to actually training again. But then the deeper problem beyond that, in actually getting past those results of the first two weeks where most people fall back, even if they make it that far, those 14 days, whatever it might be, is progressions going forward. And the second problem, the trap we fall into, is just training. I've been there too. And you turn up, you sweat, you do your thing, you leave, and you feel like you can just eat compensated or whatever it might be. But we realize that there is more of a structured plan and program, and by doing so and having something in front of you and something that is progressive, moving to that next stage, starting with where you're at first of all, it just makes it so much easier, and it allows you to keep moving forward.
Yeah, definitely.
I love that. And you hit on some key points in terms of nutrition and too, and I'm going to move on to that next. But to summarize up in terms of the mindset, and I feel there's a whole lot more in mindset, but these were goals. These were strong ones. The first one was mindfulness. And one of those big aspects was in terms of your eating. And I don't mean in terms of eating, in terms of enjoying food. The second one is going to be surely focused. And then the third one was when you had that app, and when you had your program and all laid out, it was conviction you were leading with.
Yeah.
So in terms of nutrition, what would be your, let's say, 2 to 3 take homes there?
Well, firstly of all, I would have suffered with indigestion. You called it a leaky gut, so it would have been that. Now, you did a webinar on it, and all the points just hit straight away. It was like it just, your mindset, your mood, everything, it just controls everything. And it was so true what you were saying, because I never thought of it that way before. So I would have had to buy a box of Rennies nearly every 2 days, and I wasn't happy. It was like it really affects your mood, and even the way your blood flows in your body, if you get me. Because I knew with cramps, I said there's something wrong here. My body is it's not working properly. Even that. So with the nutrition side, it was a big step for me. It was a big learning step, and I am so much happier now. Like, I can eat something and it doesn't affect me. I don't have to. I haven't bought Rennie since the first week, and I try and explain that to someone. I can't. It's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
But to some people, I suppose, who don't suffer from it, they don't realize. But that was a big learning curve for me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a massive one. And yeah, 100%. To explain it to somebody, it's absolutely life crippling. It's something that you have to deal with on a daily basis. It's something you have to deal throughout the day. And when we are not quite on point, in which we're not always quite on point, it just flares up even worse, and then it stops us further. but to explain that to somebody that has had actually went through it, has
Yeah.
gone through it, is even tougher, because the majority of people I've ever spoken with have never ever fixed that solution. You know, that we've not kind of helped. And there is another way. There is definitely another way. There's an easier way. There's a much better solution. So cover up with the likes of Gaviscon or whatever it might be, and God knows how many trips in to find out from this specialist, that specialist, what's going on, and instead of looking looking for that leak within the pipe, instead of sticking tape around it, look for that prevention. I think that's been gold, and I'm glad we put that series together to get you through.
Yeah, no, that was serious gold for me. It was just like my mood changed so much.
Yeah.
Even my confidence, like, because you know, I would be thinking, geez, how am I going to go through a life without my stomach going, or you know, something like that. Do you know?
Yeah.
Without feeling sick.
Yeah.
And I can confidently now not eat what I want, but I'm mindful of what I'm eating, and I know what's going to trigger.
Yeah.
So it's just been gold for me.
I think that was going to be gold. I think the guys listening in on this here today, or maybe watching it back, I think this one's going to be a massive. Going to resonate with it massively, because it's just such a crippling thing. By all means, we all have aspects of mindset, training, nutrition, but this is often one where we don't speak about. It's not the sexy six pack. But it's one probably going to stop us from it. You know. Yeah. So the next one, we've two more pillars. I'd love to look at lifestyle. We've spoken vaguely about lifestyle already, but before we jumped on the call and even on this here now, so I'd like to know a little bit about lifestyle, how that's changed for you.
Yeah. Well, lifestyle. I don't know. I suppose.
Have you met new people in the group that you have now bumped heads with, had that same relation?
Oh yeah, myself and Anita. She's a devil. We did that thing. What do you call it? Breathing.
Yeah.
Thing 2 weeks ago. It must have been 2 weeks ago. Do you know what? It was brilliant. I loved it. We were in the knots laughing at the end, but loving it at the same time, you know. It was so good, and loved that. Loved meeting them all in the gym that day.
Right.
It was great just to meet everyone, you know.
Yeah.
And the little trips to the gym then myself and Anita do on a Saturday, brilliant. Sure, they're gold, like. And I'd like to meet more of the guys again, like, you know.
Yeah.
But it's hard because we're all in different areas. But that I love. And what else? Like, I mean, I'm out walking the whole time now. I don't go. You know what? I remember when I went to the gym years ago when I started. I sat out in a car for about 10 minutes trying to talk myself to walk in.
Yep.
And now I'm like walking in like a boss, like I know what I'm doing, which I don't. This morning I hit my head off the squat bar. Oh my God.
I'm sure you got up gracefully with another few squats.
I wasn't even doing squats. I was looking at your program and my head was down. I was walking over to do a sumo deadlift, right? I said, right, I'm going to do these now. And I was looking at it because I kept getting it wrong. And the next thing, bang, I went, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. I went, right, wake up, Joan.
Look, so before you were standing outside the gym for 10 minutes and you were unsure about going in, you're probably going in, getting it done quick as you can and getting out. Now you meet up with the guys in the program, in the gang, friends for life pretty much. And you're still open to so many more possibilities. Plus, you are now the person who is walking by the person that is stuck in the car for the 10 minutes going, come on, let's go, let's get another workout. It's not that bad. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's our next point. So we're going to move on to exercise. So you've mentioned that last movement you just mentioned, and I know when we put that in front of you last time, the very first time, you were like, oh, just I don't really know what this is, and we were giving you those recommendations as to what you actually can do, and then you went in, you fucking done it, and you're like, okay, and then we started looking at the technique, the movement standards, and we started looking at all those aspects. So every time you went into whatever gym you fancied, you moved efficiently, and you had that baseline to pretty much progress. So in terms of your exercise, let's say we can call it training, what's been your key takeaway there?
Yeah, I'm going in, like I said, I'm going in with confidence. The app is so important because, well, I need it anyway for movements and stuff, just to do it right. Also, it helps to have Saturdays with any coaches. Like sometimes you just need a gym buddy, you know, just to give you that extra bit of push.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm more focused in work. I know it's early in the morning, but I'm more focused. I go in, I get it done, then I'm on to work, and it's I'm just more focused, and I feel strong.
Yeah.
Oh, so I feel I could take on anything, which is good.
Yeah.
Certain times, and yeah, I love it. I like who I am now, which is big.
Yeah.
Whereas, 2 years ago, no.
And I love it too, Joan. I absolutely love it. You've been immense, and you've been absolute bulletproof the whole way through this. And literally everything we put your way, I've been so grateful that you have been on the program, and I'm so grateful that you are here today and you're still leveling up every single day and moving your limitations, just blowing them through that ceiling. There is no ceiling above us anymore. It's a constant flow. So I'm so grateful you've been the beast you are.
Oh, I'm loving it. Like, I do love it, Mark. Like, without you, I wouldn't have been able to do. Do you remember I couldn't even do a push up when I started? I couldn't do the bloody push up.
You know, my mindset, I will never tell you couldn't. So, I remember asking
Oh, look at me.
say that.
But
We're going to hit a couple of off the cuff questions. All right. So the first one is, I know you have had a new love recently. Being the
you know
sea.
what?
Being the sea.
Oh my, yeah. Oh wow.
So tell us a little bit about that, why it has been such an absolute blast. And if no one has done, let's say, we're going to call it a cold dip because it's Ireland, right? So if no one's done a cold dip before, why should they?
Why should it? It'll wake you up. But it just gets your blood pumping in the morning, as you would know. Wow, my God, it's so cold. Now, I only did 2 mornings of it, Mark, because I was like, no, I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing it. But I did 2 mornings of it, and yeah, it's good. It's good. Gets the blood pumping, sets you up for the day, definitely.
Yeah. So you go in feeling, oh, I don't know about this.
Oh, it took me the first morning, it took me 15 minutes to immerse myself into it. Jesus.
And you're in, what's the feeling then?
And then it's like, oh, lovely. That's grand. That'll do.
And
Now I'm gonna keep moving.
when you get out and you get some fresh clothes on you again, and you are set for the day, what's the feeling then?
Lovely, actually. Walked down, got a coffee, and felt really good. Set up for the day, like you are. It does. It energizes you for the day, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Class, lovely. I'd love to see more jumping into it, and again, if you're watching this back, lads, let us know if you have, or maybe you might do now. What has been a big aha moment for you? Aha. What's been a light bulb moment in there?
There was well, there's a few, like there was a few, definitely with the cooking, the food. It doesn't have to be so complicated, you know. because like I said, I can cook a roast dinner, all right, but like tell me to cook something else and I'd have to go by the book. But that's been and as the process continued, it was much easier. It's like, all right, this doesn't have, and it's not complicated. That my mindset around food definitely changed. You
Yeah.
know, was, when I see a recipe, I'm going, oh God, this is going to be like, I need all these ingredients, and what am I doing? But it's fine. You can make so much more with it as well.
Yeah.
That's been my biggest learning thing as well.
Yeah.
Cooking,
Yeah.
definitely. And aha moments. That would have been one. There's a lot around the food area because I would never have prepped meals before, and it's so, like as you said, preempt your hunger. So when you're doing that and you have your meals prepped, it works so well. I would never have done that before either. So that was a big learning curve for me.
Yeah.
And now it's just comes kind of natural, which
Yeah.
is great.
Yep.
Yeah, when I was working out, it didn't have to be, the workouts, for instance, they were only 20 minutes long. And I felt like at the beginning, I felt like, all right, I need to do it. And I was kind of trying to do it real quick. And I wasn't doing it right. So I said, right, slow down. So I slowed down and yeah, things started to click in a bit better, like as in with the push-up. I wasn't down trying to, do it and I'm not doing it right at all.
Yeah.
Big learning curves when it came to movement and things like that, lifting.
Yeah, 100%. When we're training at home, and the majority of people either haven't been training or have been attempting some means of training at home over the past 2 years with this funny thing that's been going on over the past while. And the thing is, when we try to replicate what we might have been trying to fit into within the group scenarios or something like that, we just don't need an hour. We don't need to be following influencers to do an hour and a half. It doesn't stand to us. We're busy. We're fucking busy. We need to get moving and start with where you're at and move from there. And it's the same with the cooking, as you mentioned. It's start with where you're at, and then you can add on from there if you want to do some crazy recipe that's going to impress the whole family. By all means, you can work there, but it doesn't need to be there. You can still make it tasty. You can still make it quick, and by generally cutting out that overwhelm, by cutting out that guessing, it's just so much easier. By having something simple, some simple ways I like to do it is to have 5 recipes off the back of my hand that I don't need to go and read the recipe book, that I enjoy. They're quick, they're fast, and generally things that are sitting in the back of the fridge. In term, you mentioned preempt. So to explain that one a bit more is it's fucking fantastic. There's no doubt about that. We will all be so busy that we won't get a chance to eat, and we'll think we're doing great because we haven't been eating, and because of that we have more room to eat more later on, or maybe we don't have that control, and if we don't have that control later on, we are starving. Our body still needs that fire, and we still have it in our mindset that we need something for energy, where we should be the energy force field behind it. So by actually waiting until that last moment to have a chocolate bar or somewhere along those lines, have it earlier on, have something, so it's not that all or nothing mindset later on. So yeah, really good point. I'm glad you picked up on that one. Another thing I was going to say is at what point do you feel that maybe I put something your way? Maybe I put either a request your way or somewhere along those lines your way, that you felt, oh fuck, this is heavy. And maybe that excuse came in going, I'm not that sort of person or something like that, or I feel a bit uncomfortable. And when you actually smashed into it, you felt, you know what, that made sense. And I can pretty much burst through anything in this aspect now.
There's been a lot of that, Mark.
And you know what I love most? You were fast to tell me.
Well, from the beginning would have been I wouldn't have been comfortable in front of the camera
Yeah.
doing Zoom calls or anything like that. So that was one major big thing for me. Small for others, even working out in front of a camera. But I did it. I overcame that. Jeez, I'm after overcoming quite a lot actually. Walking into the gym by myself, like another big thing for me. Maybe it's an age thing too, you know what I mean? Because I'm at an age now where I kind of don't care what people think of me. But when I go back to the first phone call, yeah, with you, I did care, you know. So I have come on quite a bit, a lot actually. The things, yeah. You would have thrown out a couple of things there that I'd be thinking about it for the next few days, you know, that way. And yeah, it's a mindset thing. And I may not have shared a lot, but I would have wrote it down myself.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, certain things, you know, you're building, and it even comes across to my working area. Things you throw out like that's really relevant to personal and your working area, and they've worked, you know.
Yeah, 100%. And can I jump in and add an aspect there? I think there's something most people don't realize. Again, it can be divided when I'm speaking to people, but I feel this is another barrier that people need to understand to be able to move forward. So there's two types of people in this aspect that I speak with. One is that they're at a point in which they pretty much care what people think about them, and because of that, they're stopping them from doing the things they want to move forward. And on the other side of it, there is the people that say they don't care at all, and they don't care about the weight loss, and it's all about these other areas. But I feel that those people, what they've done is they've been in that area so long where they've been trying to get a goal in terms of getting to their physique where they're going to be happy and confident, etc., that they've completely given up. And there's something more important, but they've completely pushed that physique to the side. And I know there is more important things, but it doesn't mean you have to completely push those things aside. And to get back your own self-drive, your own self-worth, they are important to bring in and move forward as a whole. And that's exactly what you've done. And that's why you're at this point now. So in fact, there's three types. And there is those people that have got those results, have smashed it, and have done it in a completely different way. They've done it in a way where they have looked and embedded it internally throughout this whole process. And you are living proof of that, Joan. I just thought that was an important aspect to throw out there. It's not something that you had, but I think other people, there's a big chunk of people that might be even using that excuse or have been distorted from their vision going forward. And I believe, you know what, there's no need to push aside that we can move all these aspects forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Let me see. So yes, so from here, pretty much what I'd like to know is what's next? What's the next big height? What's the next big goal? The next time we jump on one of these calls, what are we going to be speaking about?
What are we going to be speaking about? I don't know. I like the challenges, Mark. So what have you set up for me? I can't do a pull-up yet. So yeah, maybe we'll continue with that.
Yeah, so thinking as uncomfortable as possible, right? So initially that thing what you mentioned about the camera, jumping on the camera and the Zoom calls, etc. And here we are, we've been on the phone for quite a while, yeah.
Actually,
yeah. But I've been loving the conversation so far, and I know this is going to be gold, and it's going to help out so many other people. So thanks so much for jumping on. But I know you did mention that thing about the camera. So you know what? Never know. It could be a photo shoot around the corner, a casual one, a chilled one. It
All
could
right,
be
you're making me sick now. Stop.
along those lines.
I'm nervous.
I know right now we have big performance goals.
Yeah.
So right now we've came to a point in which we have a full understanding of our background movements, and we have finished our cutting phase altogether, and we are now moving forward. You might decide to do the cutting phase down the road, but right now we are focused on what the body can do, how strong we feel, both externally, and you have that internal drive. So that's always going to be the vehicle to push it forward, the vessel, as we say. So they're going to be big key points. We're going to break those down, and then we do the photo shoot. So, Joan, is there anything you would like to add to tie all this up? Is there anything else you'd like to throw out there?
Is there anything else I'd like to throw? Well, if there's someone watching it that's on like two minds, I would 100%. I can't stress that enough, to get on the phone with you, because you've made it so easy for me, Mark. Like, you know what I mean? Because I would have been a shy person as well. I know people are laughing at me now when I say it. But anyway, I would have been a shy person and gone very much into myself. So, if there was anyone out there, just 100% do it. 100% do it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's so worth it. In every aspect. It's not even just losing weight. It's every aspect. Which the weight loss is great too. Do you know, but between confidence and everything else, it's just 100% worth it. Do you know?
Get on
I
it.
think you're brilliant, Mark. You're a superstar.
Absolute legend. And listen, if I had 10 more Joans as well, that would be absolute badass. But there's no doubt about it, guys. Please take inspiration from this absolute powerhouse. She's been immense. She's been crazy. She just implemented and she took action throughout. And because of that, nothing was left in the overwhelm realm. And it was put straight forward. Momentum was created, and let's face it, we all want momentum. We want action. We want the life that Joan is living right now, and who knows what's going to be next. But that's the important thing. It's not even the life she's living right now. It's the possibilities and what it is opening up to. And we were laughing about that next call. And I guarantee you we would have been talking about this call if it was on the very first one. So raise that level of limiting self-belief. And Joan, thank you so much for jumping on, taking that time out of your day, and just giving these guys a little bit extra inspiration.
And thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Can't thank you enough, actually.
Not at all. Not at all. It goes both ways, my friend. Yeah. So listen, enjoy your week off, I believe. Yes. Yeah. Lap it up. Keep being the absolute powerhouse you are, and we will chat a little later on.
Chat soon, Mark. Thanks a million.
Catch you.
Bye.
Bye, Joan.